Welcome to the Hot House.
People who I don't really truly love, I don't worry about as much.
They have places like this all over the country.
Rob and I are very much in love.
Too many emotional strings attached.
Oh my God.
You're just trying to get your 15 minutes.
I like licking girls' teeth.
Oh my God.
Why did it all go wrong?
Reality TV 101.
You kids have fun arguing semantics. I'm gonna go meet the professor regarding the alien test subject.
Welcome to Vanderpump Robs, a podcast about reality TV. I'm Rob Schulte, and with me this week is a very special guest. A guest that has been on this podcast multiple times, and my audience is going, you know what? She should have a podcast of her own. Well, guess what? You aren't paying attention because she does. Lyndsay Lime is back. Lyndsay from Recap Rodeo and Vanderpod Recaps, I should say. Hello.
Hi, friend. It's been a minute since I've been on Vanderpump Robs.
Yeah, some are saying we're fighting.
If you listen to Recap Rodeo, you might think we're always fighting with Rob, but if you were in our group chat, you would know there's nothing but love there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always say that.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that our group chat is also full of fights, but it's what friends do.
It is.
We're not actually... Look, I've never had the experience that you and Brady talk about on Recap Rodeo where like it feels like earth-shattering friendship fights, and I pity the day that ever actually happens.
Oh no, I hope it doesn't.
No, don't worry. I fold like laundry if anyone approaches me in any sort of way. How do I make this better? I just need to make this better. Unless you truly did me wrong,
right?
Then I will hold that till the day I die, which is something I'm working on. I'm working on that. Okay?
I need to find the balance.
Yes.
I get that.
You know what? I could die tomorrow, so I should work on that at any point. We all could.
We all could.
Yeah. But Lyndsay, how are you? How's the podcast going? Are you almost on... Has it almost been 2 years since Recap Rodeo started?
It will be 2 years in October, so we still got some time.
No.
But it's going really well. This next couple of weeks will be really fun because Brady is taking a vacation, which is so fun because he hasn't done that in forever. So we are releasing some different format episodes. So one of them, if you guys tune in, we rank our biggest fights.
Oh, hey,
which
perfect.
Almost, spoiler alert, almost caused another fight because there's, I guess, one fight that we still will not agree on. So I'm very curious. You'll have to text us, Rob, and tell us who you agree with or not, because surely that won't cause a fight.
That'll be great. That'll be exactly what's needed.
And then our other one that's coming out is I tell this full story on how I used to have a friend in middle school, high school that I found out completely made up people, made up scenarios. It is a whole journey. So I'm really excited about those episodes that are coming out.
That's like those horror stories where someone made up that they had like a terminal illness or something.
Yes.
This is frightening, I would say.
Yes, and it all started on good old, you remember AIM or AOL Messenger? That's where it started.
Wow. Look, I actually have something to say about this because it's going to come into a talking point I would like to discuss. But the worst thing, and I was texting with Kate about this, so part of this is a Kate quote that I'm going to steal for my own because I have to make myself sound smarter, but everyone who listens to our show that Kate's the smart one, and I'm just the guy who created the podcast. The worst thing to happen to the internet was normies. Now everyone has a very normie opinion about stuff. So, and it's all based on their life experience, which, okay, that's everyone on Earth. But now they can go to Reddit or social media platform of their choice and act astounded at something that like millions of people are like, not that big a deal, or have a different take on. So back in the day of like AOL Instant Messenger, it's like that was the heyday,
Really was.
And I'm even a little bit older than you, not by much, of course, not by much.
No.
And when I was doing AOL and going to rotten.com and I should not have seen a beheading at my age, right?
Oh, gosh, no.
You know,
no. Yeah.
you could make up stuff then, and it was almost just acceptable because that was part of the game.
Oh yeah, I was a menace in those like AOL chats. I was always saying, here I was 10 years old saying that I was a 18-year-old female from Florida. Like, I get that life. It gets a little different when you are actually like friends with someone in real life and they're making up stories and people, and you think you're talking to those people, but then you find out like none of them existed and they had honestly, after I finished telling the story, I was like, honestly, a true storyteller, because she had these characters had backgrounds, they had layers to them. So I'm going
to propose a theory, and you can tell me if this is brought up in the episode, and we won't go any further along. But
okay,
is there a world where this quote friend was using their YA novels as source material for these made up people?
That is funny because she was really into those. Now I think about it, but you do find out actually why or where like she started or got the idea for all of this.
Great. I can't wait to tune in.
Yeah,
this
it's
going to
crazy.
be wonderful. Well, I got to ask you a question before we talk about Southern Hospitality. And I know it's a touchy subject, but I really respect your opinion. And I know that sometimes people can't tell when I'm being serious or not because I kind of have the same vocal affectation. This is going to be a serious moment.
Okay. Right here.
Right here. Because as of this recording, I just put out Kate and I's episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty, but it has a long section up top where Kate gives her initial thoughts about Taylor Frankie Paul.
Yes.
And the news that has dropped. Yes. But it was before the news that dropped today when the episode came out, so there's a little bit more nuance to it. The Bachelorette is now canceled because of the video most likely Dakota leaked that is from the instance of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives episode 1, where she's getting arrested. It's very troubling. Lyndsay and I both advise people not to watch it because it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything.
No. I keep saying this to everyone I'm talking to about it. It's a very layered situation.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that we have to remember, even myself, I grew up in a domestic violence household. Even myself, I cannot compare my situation to this situation because I don't know these people and we do not know exactly what is going on. I'm going to shout out this creator called Just Wayne on Instagram. They just posted a video and they really like go into about, right now a lot of people are talking about reactive abuse, like what it is, what it's not, who's the aggressor and who's not. Those conversations aren't really helpful right now because we don't know. So whether you're 100% on Dakota's side, 100% on Taylor's side, that's really not where we should be at because, again, we don't know these people and the information that's coming out is so layered. My biggest thing is I feel bad for the kids who are involved. So I highly encourage people, like, look, TMC already posted it. It's already out there, but I do highly encourage, one, not to watch it because it can be very triggering, but also, two, like, maybe think about not posting it or resharing it. I mean, there's literally a kid in the video, so it's not and it's an incident that we've known about, but actually, like, seeing the footage, I didn't even want to watch it. It literally was just on my page. It just popped up, and I was like, what is this? I think it was the best that the ABC pulled it, but honestly, Rob, she should have never been on it in the first place. This is not someone who is mentally stable. Yeah. And I've heard like the Bachelor Nation is a whole other fandom that is like insane. Yeah. So I'm someone who like both her and Dakota need to get mentally in such a better place that I mean my heart just goes out to the kids involved in this, and I think it's complicated and messy, and we have to remember the biggest thing is we might see something that seems like familiar, like our past experiences, but that doesn't mean like that is what's happening. Because again, we don't know these people, but it's hard because we're getting all this information right now.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that I'm seeing in my very limited, because I've had to work all day, and I'm just seeing this through articles or friends texting me.
Yeah,
it's really difficult because no one's excusing any of Taylor's behavior from 3 years ago, right? But there's a weird calculation going here that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is happening. Bachelorette's about to happen. Dakota and Taylor get into a fight. And then someone, obviously not Taylor, is releasing this video that they've been holding on to.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to do this? And I think that's what people need to ask themselves before they ever post anything, before they ever talk about this, is like, what are the positives and the negatives of posting this horrible, horrible video?
Yeah.
And the positives seem to be very self-serving.
Yeah, we didn't need to see this video, and we have seen before where Dakota doesn't want anything good for Taylor.
Yes.
If you think of the Bachelorette being good, but you also see Taylor not wanting to let go of Dakota. I mean, I don't know if you watched the 4th season yet, but I hate the way Taylor talks about other women, and I hate that like they are not together, and the way that like if Dakota, you know, does anything or like with another person, like the way she talks about the other woman, the way like she comes at it, like I hate that. So they should never be in communication ever. Like they really should get in a place where like if they have to like, you know, drop off their children or whatever, they should never cross paths, because truly there's so much on both sides. At least I can say what we've seen on TV, right? Again, we don't know these people, but it just, you know, again, that's why I say it's such a layered situation, that the biggest thing right now is really, if both of them actually want to get better, they need to actually get off reality TV, work with, it sounds like, and I'll say allegedly, that maybe like a CPS, DCS situation is involved now. So they need to actually like work with them, work with whatever services. ABC posted like they're going to like support the family. Okay, let's see that. How are you going to support them? Like they need to actually do those things to get better. But I know that's like, it's going to take time, because also like you have someone too who literally has also been rewarded for this behavior, right? Like reality stars, like when they have shows like this, that's a big part why they're on like our screens, because like, oh my gosh, we're watching this like craziness. But this, again, it's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
You know what isn't too much? Or is too much in a more fun way?
Yes.
Southern Hospitality.
Yes.
And just to timestamp this, folks, because I'm sure we're going to get a lot more Bachelorette news and whatnot. We're recording this on Thursday, March 19th, 2026. So understand this is where we're at right now.
Yes.
But
I'm worried that more will come out.
Yeah. Well, Southern Hospitality, Season 4, Episode 3, an olive branch served dirty. What the hell does that mean? I mean, I get it, but let's just... Original air date, March 18th, 2026. And the blurb is, Emmy is in the hot seat at the group dinner. Joe tries to prove his worth at work. And Grace Lilly makes waves at Girls and Gays Night. Quick question. Did anyone actually call it Girls and Gays Night?
I don't think so.
I think she said, I'm inviting my girls and the gays.
Yeah, I didn't think it was like, I mean, I know there was pajama drama.
Yeah, I think this should have been pajama night. Because that's
No, I did not think of it when I walked away from it. I wasn't like, oh, that was a girls and gays night. Not at all.
No, it's just like the sort of party you would want to throw.
Right. Also, I'm trying to think, was it just Michael's there? Was TJ there too? I'm trying to think of who.
I think TJ showed up.
Was he there?
It doesn't matter. We'll get into it. So I must remind everyone listening that it is currently March Patreon Madness. And that means this episode that would normally be behind the paywall in video and audio form, because that's where Southern Hospitality is living this season, is out in front for everyone. And you can watch the video on YouTube, Spotify. But if you'd like to join the Patreon, that's where you get all the videos and bonus episodes. Everything's ad-free. It's crazy. Lyndsay's a patron. Just ask her.
I am, and I love it.
And whenever she leaves, I send her an email, and I go,
I've never left. That's someone else we know.
It's Brad and Julia's first-year anniversary party, and everyone's having fun. Did you and your husband have a party with all of your friends for your dating anniversary?
No, we didn't even have an engagement party. I don't like
any excuse to have a party, I think, is what's
I did not
going
know
on
that
here.
was a thing until I started watching reality TV, that people have engagement parties. Like, I have never
Did you-
been.
Here's
that's
a
never
question.
been my thing.
Did you have a sip and see?
No.
What the fuck? They're making stuff up now, right? This is what's happening.
No, they really are. I also think it was funny. What was I watching? Was it in this episode where Lake was like, I'm a little confused about the timing? Because she's like, I'm at his 1 year anniversary, but weren't we just making out like a few months ago?
Yeah, I believe the direct quote is, Brad's timeline is a little freaky.
A little freaky, Brad.
Justin reminds us that Mia has a great set of personality. Oh, gosh. Love the guys who aren't funny who think they're funny.
I know. What is your vibe on Justin right now? I know we're only 3 episodes in, but I'm just curious what you think about him.
Justin reminds me of when I worked at dive bar or concert venue that had 2 frat boy bartenders and the rest of like the door staff, and essentially we're all like punk rock guys.
Yeah.
And like this is where we found our bonding, was like we'd never hang out in real life, but we all both work at this music venue, so we can like hang out here and smoke a big fat doobie after work and down shots and beers. And look, this is the common thing that brings. He feels like one of those bros, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like he can go between groups, and I would enjoy him in that setting. But I don't think I could never go back. I couldn't do it now, I don't think.
Yeah. The best way I can describe Justin, y'all, is I posted a clip of Recap Rodeo where Brady and I talk about his threesome gone wrong. And I had just posted it. So it was only like, I mean, TikTok hates me sometimes. So it was only like at 60 views. And I did not tag him. Did not do any of that. He commented on it. I did not do anything. And I was like, I am not safe. I was like, this man has it like ready and loaded.
I love that. I love that. Now, of course, Molly and I mention every episode, went to the same college, not at the same time. So I've been dying to get her on the pod. It was supposed to happen, folks. She was supposed to pop in, but guess who got in the way?
Oh, really?
Network just not on it. Not on it, you know? But they said they'd circle back when she's doing remote interviews again. I'm like,
okay.
Circle back. Okay.
Yes.
I get it.
Jeez.
But anyway, Grace Lilly is in much more of a like peaceful mindset these days, but she's thinking that like her problem came from her tribal roots. I really think Grace Lilly is trying to say she has generational trauma here.
You think she's trying to say that?
I think that's what she thinks she has.
Okay.
I don't think that's necessarily what's going on with Grace, though.
I mean, it very well could be. I just don't know if she's connecting that. Oh, I don't know. Grace Lilly definitely lives in her own world.
She really does. And you know what? Justice for Grace. We love to see you getting arrested and then posting a picture that would get you kicked out of the local swimming pool.
And all jokes aside, I am concerned about Grace. I do want
me
her
too.
to
Me
actually get whatever help she needs. I don't know. I'm actually worried for her.
I think she's gonna get there. She's gonna get there. I have faith. I have faith in G. Lilly. Anyone who's come on this podcast, I have faith that they will heal in the ways they need to heal, including the milkman who did an interview with me, I think needs a little healing as well.
Yeah, you talked to him, you talked to Grace, you talked to Brad too, right? I remember
talked to Brad.
That was a good interview, yeah.
Talked to Michaels. That was a fun one.
Yes. That was a good one too.
There's before I fooled them all. They'll come on the podcast. You know?
Now they know.
Yes. No, I think I met TJ the other day. I've talked about this on the pod though, and he was nice. I liked that. But I don't think I'll be getting any more interviews anytime soon.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Well, Maddie and TJ have a sit down where they squash the beef and agree to move forward. See, Emmy, this is how you do it. You can make it easy. You can make it even if you don't actually really feel all the things as much. You can still have a very easy conversation about this. I shouldn't have done it. I was feeling bad. I would love for us to move forward better. That's the script.
Yeah, that's all you need. And you can tell that's what Maddie needed too. Like Maddie gets so intense, but it's really easy to bring her back down when you kind of come down too. And I think, in the previous episode, they all were like TJ was out of 10, Maddie was out of 10. So when you're all like that, nothing's going to get accomplished.
Were we?
Yeah. I'm going to go PowerPoint. And so
I'm going to bang on that keyboard with a fucking hammer when I'm showing my sponsor how important it was to me.
I love in this episode, she's like, I reflected more on that PowerPoint. I think it was still really good. And it helped me reflect a lot. I was like, you know what? Again, Maddie, like, I love that her sponsor was like, you could tell the sponsor was like, okay, I love that you didn't partake in drinking or drugs.
Sure.
The PowerPoint still is something we need to, I'm not quite sure what to name that.
Well, what I would say from being in that sobriety world, and this is nothing towards Maddie, I'm not going to say anything about Maddie's addiction, but if I were in that sponsor's position, I would say this is alcoholic behavior without the drinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the obsession. This is the stuff that leads us to. Now, yes, of course, very good. She did not drink.
Right.
But there's also other things you could have done besides, like, go in and prove that you are right and everything.
Yes.
And I know this because I struggle with it almost every single day. Remember when I said I will take grievances to the grave? Yeah. I know what this is like.
You're like, I get it.
Yeah. But then the subject of Emmy comes up with Maddie and TJ, and TJ's like, oh, no, I'm not ready to be her friend or to make up with her at all, because Emmy has no idea how to respond to a leading question, is not media trained in any way, shape, or form, and would rather be the friend of a host of a podcast instead of actually taking a moment. And here's the thing. I think that Emmy is dumb, and I think Will is dumb too.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Will won't be a lawyer and that he can't like memorize stuff and be a good lawyer. I don't know if he'll be a good lawyer, but like, I think it's the whole like book smarts, street smarts thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like when you can tell someone is in a situation, like when they show the clip, she's like, oh, I never really thought about it like that. That's her like yes-ending the question. Yeah. Right? Like this is her like playing into the Nick Viall situation.
It always comes back to that Nick Viall, who I cannot stand. And
don't forget his child bride.
Yes. And now they have a whole show on Netflix. It's like Age of Attraction. I can't with them.
I watched the first episode.
Oh, you did?
And I feel very dirty for it. But there is like one girl on there who's like extremely young. Like I would guess maybe 22.
Oh, wow.
And she popped up on TikTok for me the other day. And it was like when you thought you were going on some other show, other dating show on Netflix, and it turns out they just threw you on this age-related dating show. So they were like fucking with these people.
See, and the whole Nick Viall of it, and as you mentioned him during that Will and Emmy interview and asking leading questions, and this is not the first time also, like I'm just going to bring up that Nick has talked about gay men in this way, or
interesting.
Or not even like gay men, just people on some kind of like sexual, spectrum. I don't know if you remember Kendall from Love Island. There was videos of him that came out after Love Island. People were speculating about his sexuality, and whatever, but his Nicole, I think it was her name, Nicole, when she was on the podcast, he was really asking her such inappropriate questions about like Kendall, and he just really wanted to talk about Kendall's sexuality, which is just really gross because he also interviewed Kendall, and I was like, oh, you didn't have that energy, you know what I mean, for him, but you're doing it with her. And he even was like, well, I mean, I have this written down, most men, speaking from straight men out there, he just, or what did he say? Like, you don't seem someone who's like really reactive. And I was just like, that whole interview, I was like, this is gross. So then how he presented this whole TJ and Joe Bradley stuff to Emmy and Will doesn't surprise me with how he's like talked in the past about, certain situations. So nothing new for Nick. And you're right. Emmy, I do think is dumb and was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even think of that. But now she's run with it, right? Because later on in the episode, the way she's talking in her talking head, we'll get to it. But it's just, now she's running with it like it's her own narrative.
Well, speaking of her own narrative, she's taking control of her own wellness journey. And she's like, if we can squash the beef tonight, I'm going to take a shot. And it's like, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, Emmy. You're going to take a
so
shot.
Weird.
No one gives a shit that you're not drinking except you. Like, no one cares.
No.
And this is like one of those things. You know what this is? It's giving in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives when they're doing the butterfly release.
Yeah.
And Jordan's like, I've got a special message for everyone.
I got something to say.
The men are going to the villa. This is Emmy's version of that. I've got an announcement, folks. I'm going to drink alcohol. Okay. Yeah. Ugh.
Do you think Vanderpump, side note, do you think Vanderpump Villa, that's probably still going to happen, right? You don't think
absolutely. The trailer came out today.
Yeah. Wild.
And good for them. It's almost like there's a lot of things being orchestrated at once. And maybe they didn't get a good season of The Bachelorette, and it's really an easy way for them to cancel it. Who knows? Maybe. I'm going Bravanon brain on this. I gotta get out of this hole. I gotta get out of there. Brad asks, because they're going to do a group setting for this so that we can squash all the beefs at once with, actually, I believe it's beeves is proper English there. Squash all the beeves at once, and we can get out of the Emmy situation. Brad asks Emmy, where did I break your trust? And she's like, well, all of the lies last year about Will. And he's like, well, if you remember, I believed you until more people started coming out and saying things.
Yep.
And I also know that they didn't mention this. I think they need to mention it more. Will kept coming into Republic drunk as shit, saying how much he doesn't like you.
And talking horribly about her, talking about her body, talking about all of this. So I'm sorry if your friends then started to be like, this is weird. I don't like this.
And then Emmy gets herself in, she's already like knee deep in quicksand. And she gets herself up to about like belly button length when she brings up the hotel incident and trying to throw this on Brad, saying like his text message to her was aggressive and scary. And she didn't actually say that Brad's dead to him. And Brad's like, well, I wouldn't say you're dead to me 002,
right,
if you didn't say that. And she's like, well, it's probably Will. You know how his temper is.
I was hoping you clocked that. Yeah, she literally said, you know how angry Will can get. And I was like, that is a red flag. Like, what is that about? I did not like that.
Will, the man who Emmy broke up with and then decided to sleep on her porch and write her letters every day until she took him back. Let's not forget this either.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Molly's like, no, I heard her saying that too because I was sharing a wall with her. And in fact, I could hear her blow her nose at 4 a.m. Wink. That's what I'm thinking that's about,
Yeah, I know. This whole... And Brad brings up such a good point, because when they talk about, Emmy saying that she felt unsafe, right? That's like where this conversation goes. He brought up, he asked her, why did you feel unsafe? You've never, we have been friends. And Emmy's excuse was, you were just so aggressive. I've never seen this before. Okay, really, Emmy, you're just not thinking, because if I had a friend like that, was texting me like that, I would be like, oh man, there's something going on. We got to work this out. But this isn't a situation like that, because Emmy, you were talking shit and you got called out on it. And so it was just, this whole conversation was really hard to watch, because, and even Brad in his talking head, which I really appreciate, he said, I always as a black male, have to think about how I react, you know, all about his feelings, his thoughts. Like, he has to think about that so much. And Emmy doesn't think at all about any of this. She's so, like, she just thinks about herself. And when people are talking to her about this, when Brad is calmly explaining all of this, she's getting so, you know, just out of 10, like Emmy does. And then you can tell the group, then it turns into them trying to comfort her. And that's when I started to get really pissed off.
She already knows this. I talked about this last episode with Madeline. Like, she may not be clocking it exactly, but she has a pattern of behavior that she knows gets her out of situations. And whether or not that's conscious or unconscious, it's giving Sandoval tears.
Yes, you know? I know. I appreciate them showing this conversation.
Absolutely. Well, did you watch this week's Summer House yet?
Yes, I did.
And I think there's a good parallel here, too, because Kyle Cook is like, oh, my God, I never thought about how I can get angry and explode, but if KJ gets angry and explodes, he's held to a different standard, among many other things that come up in that discussion.
Right.
But, like, that sort of conversation is trying to be told to Emmy here, and she just is like, but you were gonna be a groomsman.
Oh yeah, the way that she's able to flip it around, and again, you could tell even Justin at one point, he was like, I mean, I get what Brad is saying, but Emmy has feelings too, and in this moment, I'm sorry, Emmy's feelings don't matter in this moment.
Justin, shut the hell up, man.
Literally shut up, because, okay, she really didn't get it, but then I saw Brad, you know, trying to talk to her at the end of the party, and I could tell, like, I think he realized, like, more conversations need to happen, but maybe he thought this was a good first stepping stone. I think he wanted to think that.
Sure. But before we get there, TJ's like, my turn.
Yes, and she really had no... Again, she was like out of 10 with her, like, but I'm sorry, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, whoa, like, okay, yeah, like, I need to talk about this. Like, if I am saying this shit, and again, I love that, like, Southern Hospitality, it's one of those shows where I'm telling everyone to watch, but also I want to kind of, like, gatekeep it, because I don't want it to, like, you know what I mean, the fandom to really come out.
It cannot become Vanderpump Rules, please.
Yeah, but I love that, like, they literally showed TJ say, you called me a rapist. And it was like, when he said that, I was like, but again, she, you know, she does not get it. Or she, in this moment, all she took it as is everyone is getting up on me. Poor Emmy. And that really wasn't it. Emmy. And I don't blame... Because I know it started out with Brad or them saying, like, should we have a one-on-one conversation? Should we have a group one? I don't blame them for having a group one. I would never want to have a one-on-one conversation with Emmy, because we'd walk away from it and she'd be like, that didn't happen. I didn't say that.
Yeah, I need witnesses. I
need testimony. I need witnesses. I need, So I
need someone to live in a one-party state and record the phone call. That's what I need.
Yes.
For this situation.
Yeah.
I do like, though, that Emmy's like getting all, and then she like, I'm pulling myself together and I'm sorry. And then Grace goes, for?
What? I know. Was that about why Molly was upset for when she said?
Yeah, because this did go into like Molly gets her turn with the TJ stuff, because let's also not forget that, like, you're laughing about comments that, even if they don't mention my name, they're obviously about me, because they're posted the day after the episode dropped, where they're saying a thick girl and a skinny girl, and Emmy, you know, we know what's going on here. And Emmy's so performative in her confessional. She's like, Molly's a victim, all this sort of shit. It's so lame. But I love that, like, Michaels was like, Grace, don't do that. But I like that Grace was like, no, what are you sorry for?
I did too, because
I say the words. Are you sorry for all three things? Are you sorry for just one of them? What are you sorry for?
What are you sorry for? And do you understand why it is not okay to use the language that you are using? Do you actually think that? Like, the way that she was not able to communicate any of that. Like, talk about this is a what not to do in these kind of conversations. And And the whole Molly thing, like, I was disgusted in her talking head when she was like, I deleted the comment because I knew she'd make herself the victim. Well, that doesn't make sense because you're also saying that comment you don't even know was about her. So what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Interesting. It's crazy how when you're in your confessionals, which we see throughout this entire episode, you are so confident.
She thinks she's a bad bitch.
Yeah, and I hate it. She does. I've got a note later on, but I've never seen someone's brain become so like reality TV rotted so quick on Bravo. Like, and not in a way that it's like, oh, you're kind of like toxic, but like literally you like believe this shit because you got a villain quote edit last season, which made you popular. Well, let's talk more about that after we take this quick break. Listeners, it's patreon.com/VanderpumpRobs. That's where you got to support this show. March Patreon Madness. If you lock in now, before April 1st, in the month of March, you will get the lowest price possible because in April, I am raising prices on the Patreon. And look, I'm going to be candid with you folks. 2 people have dropped off the Patreon this week.
What are we doing?
Now, of course, in my outgoing surveys, it says my financial situation changed, and that's always okay.
Yeah.
I get it. You can't always afford to be on there. But if you can, I would love if you came and supported the show. I care about you, and I want you to be there and not have to listen to the weird ads that are brought up for whatever you've been searching for lately. You don't want to hear those either. Anyway, patreon.com/VanderpumpRobs. We'll be right back.
Josh is so threatened by Rob. Threatened by Rob.
You kids have fun arguing semantics.
Well, we're back. And as excited as ever to keep talking about this episode. Emmy has a panic attack, which was forced and didn't seem as, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Lake follows her out because they're besties now, and then Maddie, Michaels, and Joe, and one of the new ladies who keeps trying to get in scenes come to join them.
Again, it's sad that it turned into everyone comforting Maddie, and so then that's why
Emmy,
Emmy, and that's why I don't know if Brad then felt like he needed to go out there too, because then he was like, "You're not leaving, are you?" And I felt sad that Brad felt like he had to do that when I'm like, why is no one checking in on a Brad?
Yeah, I think Brad's pretty solid, quite frankly.
But
you're right.
Too,
I think it's weird that Emmy has like Emmy, go home.
Go home, Emmy.
If you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And then the Brad and her, you kind of talked about this already. They have a like, okay, this is a good point in moving forward and not backwards. Let's party. And as everyone's partying, we get, I got to point this out. We get a moment where Julia says to some people, this is the room where I ate Brad's ass last night.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I even remember. I must have missed. That's crazy. I must have missed that.
And then Grace asks Michaels if he wants to eat her ass.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this part because I don't remember it. I'm so sad.
And then this is the part that if those two things didn't shock you, or at least go, wow.
What?
Because we don't get shocked by anything. Michael says to Grace that he doesn't like fish.
Oh.
Are we still talking like this?
That, unfortunately, I do think that is still a thing that people need to learn from. But yeah, sadly, that is still a way that people talk. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's
we got to be better.
Crazy.
Yes, we got to be better, y'all.
We had this actually got pointed out last episode too. Like we'll have this like really progressive moment and then we'll get someone being like, I know who wears the pants in that relationship.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. We almost get there and then it's like, oh no, here we are.
Hang on, we're still on Bravo. We gotta we're still here and let's make sure we can't get too highbrow on them. Emmy takes the shot at like she promised, and then Mia goes, oh, you guys, let's not pay attention to Emmy's performative shot taking. Let everyone know I'm single. And they all freak out.
They do. They're like, what?
and it's got to be your fault.
Right? They're like, what was it, Michael's? He was like, I really liked him. He was so hot.
He was perfect. And then the gang head out to a bar where everyone takes body shots and makes out. TJ and Michael's make out consensually, because apparently we always need to make sure with TJ.
Yes. Michael's like brought him back in for another kiss.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then Emmy makes sure to make a comment about how he's a grandpa.
And I didn't like that either.
Nope.
Emmy, like, that's not cool. That's not cute. That's not. No. I think she thinks she's being hilarious.
Yeah, she does. And she's not.
She's
At
not.
all.
No.
Well, Justin is obsessed with Mia, if we didn't already know this, but continues to hook up with Jordan, who is also not seeming to care that Justin is hooking up with or wants to hook up with other women as well. Jordan doesn't care that Justin's a playboy.
Did you see who Justin's dating now, currently?
Did I see it was Charlie?
It is Charlie, and I think that's been confirmed.
Oh my God.
I know. So I could see her not coming back on Southern Charm, and I could see her going on Southern Hospitality.
Yeah, Charlie is not made for Southern Charm. She's too selfish and too young.
It looks like it hurts when she talks. Like the way that it physically hurts me to watch her talk, because I don't know if it's anxiety. I don't know what it is, but girl, yeah, this is not the space for you. I get it. I wouldn't want to be around these men either on Southern Charm, but it looks painful to be her.
Absolutely. These are people getting ready for work. You know, Joey Bottles and Justin, they're going to hit the town to get some, I don't know, bridesmaids and brides-to-be to come to Republic, because that seems to be the only parties they have are we're getting married or breaking up.
Right.
And then TJ and Michaels are perfectly fine at work together after making out at a drunken night like everyone else.
Yes.
But Lake and that woman who keeps trying to get into scenes are giggling about it.
Yes.
Because apparently Republic now hires 15-year-olds to work there.
I could see that. Times are hard. Joe Bradley's not coming to work. They need, they got to get people.
He's not at all. Let's see here. This is a nice little, short little, mid-episode montage, right? Like, hey, we're back at work. We're not... we're not at the vacation anymore. We're back in work mode. Mm-hmm. And then we go to a commercial break and come back, and it's a weird montage of Joe washing his truck.
That was so weird. I was like, is this the actual show? Why are we getting this? And I don't know if it was because later on when Maddie was talking about her ideal guy, and it cut to him washing the car. I don't know what it was, but I was like, this is not a Paris Hilton, Carl's Jr. commercial moment right now. I don't want it.
I think it's kind of, it's obvious because Joe's like, I love my truck. It's like second most to anything else.
I would only cheat on Maddie if it was with my truck or something. I was like, okay, dude.
Have you ever heard the Memphis, Kansas Breeze segment from Comedy Bang Bang with Drew Tarver and Carl Tart as country music singers about trucks?
I got my truck 4 years ago today, and that makes this the truck's birthday. Pickup truck birthday party, everyone's invited. The trucks honk their horns and they get excited. Pickup truck birthday party, having a blast. I got him a birthday cake made of gas. And instead of party hats, the trucks wear traffic cones. And instead of birthday clowns, they hire a mechanic. Instead of singing happy birthday, trucks honk their horns. Some do car alarms, but most honk horns. Honk, honk, truck's birthday. Honk, honk, truck's birthday.
When I grew up in the small town outside of Kansas City, I think my next door neighbor friend had just graduated, and I was like a junior in high school or something, and then his younger brother was my friend who was 1 year younger than me. Mm-hmm. And our neighbors, we lived in a cul-de-sac, so both of us, our neighbors, who we didn't really interact with too much, the older sister started dating some dude who had a really nice, quote, truck. I think this guy was a little bit older, so already some like red flags happening. My friend told me, guys, this has stuck with me for so long. Guys that don't go to college get a big annoying truck instead.
And did this truck also have the balls, hanging off
Oh,
of it?
it did not have no truck nuts,
Okay,
but
okay.
it would have fit perfectly fine.
Yes. That is so, geez Louise.
Yeah. Molly and Lake are preparing for a girls and gays pajama party, apparently. Or just, some people just call it a party.
Right.
And Lake tells Molly that Emmy won't be coming because her invite should have come from Molly directly and not through Lake. And Molly lets us know that Emmy is the queen of performance.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it this whole season so far, and we're going to see it even more. I was actually shocked when we get to more of the Emmy of it, because I don't know why I shouldn't be shocked with her behavior, but I was.
Well, let's get there, because apparently every motherfucker wants a piece of Emmy.
Yeah, Peyton, which is her sister, every motherfucker wants a piece of me. And Peyton's like, her family, first of all, that's the problem. Enable her. Toxic. Dude, I bet Emmy has never been put in her place by her family. And
and Peyton wants to be on the show. Right.
Oh, yeah. This whole conversation just made me feel rage.
I mean, the fact that she laughs about all of the problems that everyone had with her. If I were to give any sort of moment to this, is there a possibility that this conversation happened before they went to Folly Beach?
Oh.
And they're just editing it to come in afterwards?
Like before they had the sit down conversation?
Yeah, before she took her first shot of alcohol since 2000.
Well, but she said they all wanted a piece of me, so she even said Brad, TJ.
Well, I think
Molly.
there's probably going to be I think there's an understanding we're going to go here, we're going to have this conversation.
I mean,
but the way it plays out in the show is not that way, which is why it's so enraging.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that could be possible. I really think it happened after, and I hated that, again, she tried to say that Molly was coming for me. I actually don't think any of them were coming for her. I thought that they really tried to navigate, and I actually think all of them were very hurt by Emmy, because all the things they're talking about are really big things. You have calling, Brad unsafe. You have calling TJ a predator, a rapist. You have Molly, the way that you're going about in her comments. These are all very hurtful things. And then for her to say TJ was being so combative. No, he wasn't. And then for her to say that, I don't think he's a predator, but I don't think he's being appropriate going after drunk straight men. And it's do you not hear what you're saying?
This is freak behavior. Someone who's never had to step outside of their own shoes. And the biggest part about this is that she was set up for absolute success by these people.
Yes.
Everyone was so calm, cool, and collected, even when they're look, Emmy, I don't want you to freak out. I'm not but that could possibly maybe kind of come off as a microaggression. And when you pin a comment about someone's weight, that shows that you might kind of endorse it. I mean, we just don't want you to do that. So we're she was being coddled the whole time.
Yes.
And she still has to come back and have this sort of I'm laughing at all of these idiots conversation with
coming for me. How dare they come for me? And I forgot this earlier, but Mia even said it perfectly. In these situations, even if you didn't mean it in a certain way, it came off a certain way. So Emmy, in that moment, you acknowledge, you know what, Brad, I didn't even think of that in that moment, but that shows my privilege right here, that I didn't even think of that. So I am so sorry. That's it. Cut, no but, no nothing. TJ, again, I also did not think of my words. I am so sorry. But the thing is she's not sorry.
No.
So she's not going to say any of that, because she did not listen to a goddamn word any of them said. All she was thinking was, oh, I can't wait to make this seem like they're all attacking me. You hear me? She's already thinking about that.
You know what's going to be great? What if Will dumps her by the end of this season?
I was going to ask you if you think they're actually going to get married. I feel like they will.
I think most likely yes, But I also think, depending on how long it takes to actually get married, Emmy might love the fame more than the settled down married life.
Okay, yeah.
And I think she's going to get some more opportunities that being married to Will and staying in Charleston will not provide her.
Okay, yeah.
I think that might happen.
Yeah.
But let's take another quick little break. Remember, folks, patreon.com/VanderpumpRobs if you don't want to hear any breaks. And if you want to get a low, low price before April. We'll be right back.
Jax is so threatened by Rob. Threatened by Rob.
You kids have fun arguing semantics.
Hey, it's PJ party time. Maddie, who arrives alone, tells everyone there that Grace bitched her out for not telling her it was a PJ party.
But Maddie didn't know.
Maddie did not know. Maddie didn't arrive in PJs.
No.
This goes, I think, a little deeper.
I think we've seen it since season 1, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When Grace arrives, she reminds everyone that this wasn't the first time Maddie had done this or that Maddie had been dismissive of their friendship. And really what this says is Grace's feelings are hurt because I think part of it is Grace isn't as big a part of the show as Maddie is.
Yeah.
But I think the other part of it is that, like, I don't think Maddie wants to be friends with Grace. But I think that they're like, we have been friends and kind of came up together at the same time. It's like that sort of friendship where, like, well, I'll respond if they text me, but I'm not really actively texting them, which is bad. Like, it's also sucks because you don't want to be like, look, I think our friendship has got its course. And, like, you don't want to have that conversation either. But
Well, and also, like, in my opinion, and I don't know if you caught this on Watch What Happens Live because Joe Bradley and Maddie were on it and they talked about Grace Lilly. And Maddie said, like, I have talked to her since she's been arrested, but Maddie's also trying to navigate that because I'm sure Maddie's also not trying to put herself in situations right now that Grace is. And she even said she's also not trying to enable Grace.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I don't blame Maddie if she is trying to pull away and because of, like, what Grace is maybe doing now. But I also don't blame Grace for, I think she recognizes, like, she just sees her friend pulling away and that makes her sad. And she even said later in this episode, you know, it's always, you know, I'm not a good friend to Maddie, but it's never about, like, how is Maddie a good friend to me? And I could see it both ways, right? I'm sure, you know, Maddie has not always been the greatest friend to Grace. I also think Grace, you know, I think it can go both ways. But I think this whole thing is actually kind of sad because I think it, like you said, it goes beyond the PJs.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Maddie doesn't want to be around situations that also could potentially be like, well, maybe I'll do a little, right?
Yes,
you know?
yes.
She doesn't want to do that, and Grace is obviously still in party mode and totally fine giving it up to Ja and having a good time. And you know, the other thing though is when we see the people when Grace is talking throughout the rest of this episode, like no one's taking Grace serious. You know,
they're not,
and it's not in a like it's that weird like sort of bullying where you're like, okay, yeah, Grace is here. This is kind of, you know, but they're all like side-eyeing each other, like, get a load of this girl, you know, sort of stuff. And it's like, well, maybe she doesn't need to come then if you all don't want her there.
Yeah. And it's hard because, and I was laughing because I thought of this, like, when Grace is talking about, she's like, there's like a crazy energy in here. And she talked, look, Grace is very into, you know, the tarot cards. I think she's very spiritual and very into like signs. Apparently that's why her and, oh wait, no, never mind. I was thinking of, remember earlier in the episode, Lake was like, I'm friends with Emmy now because I read her sign and we're supposed to be
because my
friends.
Astrology app told me I should be friends with her.
And I think, oh yeah, and Maddie was like, that is some Grace Lilly shit. And I said, that is some Grace Lilly shit. But when
also, I like at that point, Michael's like immediately jumps in and be like, can we not talk about Emmy?
Yeah. And I was like, can we, I'm on Michael's side on this. Can we not? But Grace is saying, you know, oh, I think Mercury's in retrograde. Like, what is this crazy energy? And Mia, I don't know if you caught this. She goes, well, the AC just came on. So it just like made me laugh. But you're right. They don't really take her seriously. And I get, like, you know, talking to Grace Lilly I could see it feeling a little woo-woo and a little, you know, that. But if she is your friend, like you said, like, you don't want to just like invite her and then just like laugh at her the whole time too. Especially again, I think really right now we see someone who is struggling, and you know, I'm curious how as the season goes on, if we will kind of see more conversations happen with Grace Lilly.
I hope so.
I hope so too, because I love Grace, and you know, I don't know if it was her decision to not like really be more on the show, or if it's, you know, production wise, but
I don't think it was Grace's decision.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay. I think she would love to be on this show more.
Yeah.
Now, before we reach the end of this episode, I do want to point out something you talked about earlier, which is where Maddie discusses the types of guys she's dated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pretty boys, skater boys, sugar daddies, and cartel members. Now, I'm willing to put the cartel members in the category of I ate cat food, I ate tuna fish, right? From Vanderpump Rules, right? Like maybe she's just, you know, being a little cheeky about something there. Whether or not it's appropriate, I don't know. Who's to say?
Right.
But I definitely think sugar daddies is a thing, because let's not forget, when we're talking about Grace Lilly and Maddie, that they have spent a lot of time in Tulum and other places, especially during COVID.
I forgot. Oh yeah, that's a huge thing that's talked about during season 1. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
So, also, I don't think I would call sugar daddies being like. I don't think that's in the category of like the guys I'd like to date.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, Joe Bradley's over there like, none of these describe me. I'm sad.
Well, he's not invited to the party because he's not a girl and he's not gay.
That's so true. Yeah, I know. I do think like Grace took it a little too far when she was like, "Shut the fuck up, you're annoying." Like you could tell.
Yes,
Grace
that's what happens. Yeah. After that.
You could tell. And Maddie is just like, "What the heck? Like, how did we get here?" And I'm sure. And then Grace at the end of the episode when she was like, "I'm holding back like what I really want to say." I'm like, what does she want to say? Like, tell us, girl, please.
Hopefully we'll find out at the beginning of next episode and it's not a huge dud.
I know, because I don't know if you watched the preview. It did seem like, I think it shows Mia saying, you know, how could you say something like that? But who knows, you know?
Yeah.
Though
I think Grace will probably say something out of pocket, but
I can see that.
Will have some truth to it, which will then lead Maddie down a path. Because I think, as like, it feels like I sometimes I feel like I read some of the dumbest comments ever, but I'm also really dumb, so who knows? But it's very clear that they're setting us up for a Maddie Joe Bradley breakup. Like, that seems very clear, with Joe being in the texts and
oh my gosh,
Joe following her around and she's the one who wears the pants and all of these sort of things. Like, Joe's job suffering because of it. Like, it is so clear that this is what we're setting up. And even because I know that Kate's cousin saw Joe Bradley on a date with another woman in the Charleston Food and Wine Festival recently. So
I was going to, did you watch Watch What Happens Live?
I didn't watch it, no.
Okay.
Just the clip you sent me.
If you have time, I would watch it, because honestly, I'm going to sit here on this pod. I would not be surprised. I think they're already broken up, and the vibe with them together on the episode, it felt almost like, remember when Kristen and Tom Sandoval were broken up before the season had aired, and they're on that Watch What Happens Live?
I do, many other magazines and stuff, interviews that they've done.
Yes, yes. So it was, watching it, it was very much giving that to me.
I hope they are, because I don't want the Kyle Amanda situation. I don't want to know about it and then watch it. No. I don't want that.
And I actually was really, I love, like, me and Corey my husband have the very, we were friends for a very long time, and then we got together. Like, I love those kind of relationships, and I wanted that for Maddie and Joe, of, you know, they've been friends for so long, and, you know, Maddie was with, like, duds, and I really wanted that. But then, as, like, the seasons continued, I was like, oh, I don't want them together. And then, like, again, how it was addressed of Joe Bradley being in the text messages, like Andy asked about it, really wasn't addressed because Joe was like, oh, well, there's tons of group chats and I didn't know what was happening. Cut to like the screenshots that we have where he was very engaged in that group chat.
Very engaged. I'm willing to believe that Brad did not outright tell people like, I am fully making this up.
Yeah.
Just to get people on board. But also like, just ask Brad a couple of questions and you will find out that he is making this up.
But I'm sorry, I think Joe, as this season was going on, was maybe connecting some dots.
Oh, yeah.
And him and Watch What Happens Live even saying, I wanted them to break up, more than anyone, but I didn't get, no, you fully did. And I don't know if Maddie is lying to herself because I don't know, it would have been just so easy for Maddie to be like, you know what, I was really upset with Joe and we worked on it. It's something I'm still working through, but I've realized our relationship has grown so much from that, but she didn't say that, which again, I agree. I think they're broken up.
Because they're broken up. Well, what do you think, listeners? Let us know by either asking a question or just calling in and giving your thoughts. You can contact us at contact@vanderpumprobs.com, DM the Instagram page, or leave a voicemail at 321-376-ROBS. Now, sometimes we do questions from the audience. The voicemail box is getting low, so I'm being sparingly on those. But, Lyndsay, since I'm having guests on for Southern Hospitality right now, maybe I should throw it out to you. Do you happen to have a question, or do you need me to reach into the anonymous question bag?
I could do one.
Okay,
and we kind of talked about this beforehand, but...
Don't break the illusion.
Oh, sorry.
Cut
it, edit. But I liked that you brought this up. Would you rather have dinner with Emmy or Emmy's sister? I like that. And I'm very curious, who would you rather have? We'll do Emmy, we'll do Emmy's sister, and we'll do Will.
Oh my God.
Yeah, out of those three, who would you rather have to go to dinner with? Who are you going to Sir with?
I gotta say, this is strictly for research purposes only. I gotta go with Peyton. I gotta go sister on both facts. If it's Emmy or Will, I gotta get the sister because I want to know. Like, I won't be like immediately like asking questions about the show. Mm-hmm. I want to see how Peyton acts. Right?
Okay.
Because if she acts like Emmy and she talks like Brady, I'm like, oh, this then just feels like how this family is.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then I'll know how to like gauge those questions. But if she acts totally different and it's like really friendly and not really snarky or anything like that, then I could be like, so is it like that conversation you had? Is that played up for the you know what I mean? And then we could find out that way. So I think I'm going to get more information if I go to brunch even with Peyton.
Interesting.
Yeah. How about you?
See, I was thinking, Will, I feel like I would get everything out of him because he's already talking shit about Emmy on the streets. So I'm going to take him to a nice brunch. I feel like he's going to be, spilling everything. Although I don't think I could be in the same room as that man. But also even with Emmy too. But honestly, I think with Emmy as well, she would like pretty much tell me anything that I wanted to hear. But that's a good point about the sister too. I would be very curious how her sister was in the wild as well.
Yeah. And then I would immediately like get out of that situation as fast as possible. I don't think I could be around any of those people for more than like maybe some goat cheese balls and then get out of there.
Yes. Which apparently, I mean, you need to go to Tom Tom and get those, celebrate there for whatever, because apparently they're maybe closing or...
Hey, they're on the market and, but you could buy it and keep it open as Tom Tom.
Yes. Do you think that's what's going to happen, or you think someone's just going to buy it and rebrand it?
No, I'm thinking I'm going to get all these people who are supporting the podcast at patreon.com/VanderpumpRobs so that we can convert it into Rob's.
And that's perfect. Rob's.
Yeah. Rob's. It'd be great.
Yeah,
and any patrons would have a stake in the business. So just put it out there, folks. If that's what you want to get for, you'd be supporting this podcast. And then if enough patrons come in, you'd be supporting my new restaurant endeavors, which I hear there's never any problems with.
No, such an easy business to get into. Nothing, the money is just flowing.
And that's why Lisa's selling. So
And it's too much money for her right now.
I can't do it.
And all her attention is at Sarah right now. That's where she is 24/7, 7 days a week, so she just, even though Tom's right there, she just cannot make it there.
No. Well, Lyndsay, where can people find you?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on. And you can find us on Instagram at Vanderpod Recaps or Recap Rodeo. And then you can listen to our podcast anywhere where you get podcasts at Recap Rodeo.
It's a great show. It's a great account. They put a lot more thought into things and are way funnier than me, folks. So if you think I'm like really hilarious, get a load of these people.
Whatever.
You should wait until you hear about the dream Lyndsay just had the other day.
Oh my gosh, or Brady's sextortion story, which was a real thing it's so insane.
So scary.
Insane. Yes.
And
almost started another fight because I thought he was doing a bit. I do. And he was getting so pissed because I was like, Brady, is this true? You have to hear all about it.
Well, folks, patreon.com/VanderpumpRobs. We'd appreciate it. And we will see you next time on Vanderpump Robs.